stanza number 32. By training in this aptitude for emptiness, the habit to perceive real things will be relinquished. By training in the thought, there isn't anything, this view itself will also be abandoned. All the afflictive emotions that we have, such as anger, desire, arrogance, jealousy, and so on and so forth, they are all rooted in our misconception, in our mistaken belief that things as they arise are truly existing. And because of this misconception of believing things to be truly existing, then naturally what happens is that we cling on to things. And as a result, when we are faced with situations, it could be favorable situations or it could be unfavorable situations, we become entangled in our emotions. Some of them may be joyful emotions, but many of them are quite painful. And this misconception of believing things to be truly existing is something that we have lived with from the beginningless time. We truly believe that, as things arise, they are truly existing. We never even doubt that whether they truly exist or not. It has become, natural part of us, I guess. And so therefore, because this misconception has been with us for a long time, its roots have entered, deep within our consciousness, deep within our being. So when it comes to cutting through these misconceptions, when it comes to uprooting and eradicating this misconception of believing things to be truly existing, is not going to be easy. And as a path dweller, we'll have to accept that this is a long-term battle that we'll have to face with patience and courage. And it's not going to be easy to eradicate this misconception. And as an antidote to this misconception, then one needs to apply the view of emptiness. When it comes to the establishment of the view of emptiness, if you read sutras such as the Heart Sutra, you'll find so many, words that has sense of negation in it. No eye, no nose, no tongue, no ear, so on and so forth. And not only that, if you listen to the teachings which is emphasized on the establishing of the view of emptiness, you will hear words such as not truly existing. There is this sense of negation, not, and inherently non-existent, unborn. Things are never born. Therefore, things are non-abiding, non-ceasing. And even the word emptiness itself have that sense of negation in it. So therefore, you see, this is done deliberately to counteract the misconception of believing things to be truly existing. And just like any other concept, the view of emptiness as a concept also has elements of clinging in it. So therefore, to dismantle the concept of the view of emptiness, then you have to apply another concept, which is nothing truly exists, as Shantideva says here. There isn't anything, right? Nothing truly exists. Not only the things or the existence does not truly exist, but even the non-existence does not truly exist. You have to apply another concept, the emptiness of emptiness, to counteract the concept of the view of emptiness. So therefore, it's almost like this. There is this concept that we all have, which is the misconception of believing things to be truly existing. And to counteract that, you use another concept, which is the view of emptiness. And like any other concept, it also has an element of clinging. Not to the things, but to the negation of the things, nothing. There is a subtle kind of clinging towards the nothingness. And that needs to be shrugged off as well. So you apply another concept to dismantle that concept. And at the end, just like, rubbing two woods kind of creates the fire, and at the end, the fire consumes both the woods. Similarly, using concepts to dismantle concepts, and again another set of concepts to dismantle concepts, at the end, what happens is, all the concepts gets exhausted. And now the stanza number 33. There is nothing when this is asserted, nothing is there to be examined. How can a nothing, wholly unsupported, rest before the mind as something present? How do I put it? Let's say I tell you that there is no cup on my table. That is, the absence of the cup. There is no cup on my table. But what happens is that because our mind works in a very dualistic way, conceptualizing everything that it perceives, now the absence of the cup has also become a concept. I don't know whether you are getting it or not. The absence of the cup has also become a concept in your mind. And that absence of the cup has your mind has made it into something that you can sort of grasp onto. And that's how our mind works. So, as we discussed earlier, to counteract the misconception of believing things to be truly existing, there is no choice, but you have to, since at this point our mind is incapable of perceiving, or fully comprehending the ultimate truth, so therefore it needs to be done in stage-wise. So therefore, the view of emptiness is kind of introduced. And there is loss of negation of the things there, not truly existing. The form is emptiness. Things are inherently non-existent, and so on and so forth. It works to counteract the misconception that we have, but then again, if you really look at your mind, your mind has worked in such a way that it has sort of conceptualized the whole thing. And that non-existent aspect of the ultimate truth has also become some sort of a thing in your mind. And that needs to be shrugged off as well. So you apply another concept to dismantle the earlier concept. So when you really examine the concept of the non-existence that you are clinging onto, the reality is that it has no basis. Because non-existence, the concept of non-existence is strongly based on the concept of the existence. When there is no existence, there is no basis for the non-existence to exist. There is no thing such as non-existence because it has no basis for its existence. So that's why Shantideva is saying, how can a nothing wholly unsupported rest before the mind as something present? And now, the stanza number 34. When something and its non-existence both are absent from before the mind, no other option does the latter have. It comes to perfect rest from concepts free. So I think I'll have to repeat it again. It has some sort of a similar thing, but said in a kind of a different ways. So probably to make it understandable, I'll have to repeat it again. So there is this concept that we all have, which is the misconception of believing things to be truly existing. And to counteract that concept, then you apply the concept which is the view of emptiness. But then, as all the concepts, it also has its element of clinging in it. So therefore, clinging onto the non-existence aspect, so you apply another concept that nothing truly exists, neither existence nor non-existence. Because, as Shantideva said in the earlier stanza, if existence does not truly exist, there is no basis for non-existence to exist. So therefore, by applying that concept, then what you are trying to do is to dismantle the concept that is clinging to the non-existence aspect. Now, you may think you will have endless concepts again, like concept of both, concept of neither, and so on and so forth. But actually, Shantideva is saying here, particularly in the third line of the stanza number 34, that I don't really understand the English here, but thinking from the Tibetan text, what Shantideva is saying is that all other concepts are included in the concepts that we mentioned earlier, the concept of, existence and the concept of non-existence. When these two are dismantled, then Shantideva is saying there is no room for other concepts to arise. So therefore, the yogi reaches to the natural state of, the truth that is completely free from all concepts. And that referencelessness is the inherent nature of all things. So when you hear things like things are not truly existing, that not truly existing is actually in reality pointing at the ultimate truth that is free from all concepts. It is not you should not be taking it from that when you hear the words such as things are not truly existing, you're not negating the thing and then clinging onto that negation part, that non-existent part. If there is such, then in reality you'll have to dismantle that concept also. So in the relative truth, as we discussed earlier, yogis will see things, yogis will hear words, and so on and so forth. If you ask the yogi, do you have a cup? Yogi will say yes. But then, as we repeatedly said earlier, but there is no truly existing cup. So what that implies is that there is no concept. The yogi is just simply, responding as the demand coming from, the relative world. But in reality, from the yogi's part, there is no concepts of existence, neither non-existence.